and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from Central Europe in Budapest, here close to the Danube. Hi Roshni, hi Rahul. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. All right, this is a members chat class, so you need to be a member of our channel to be able to chat. Not a subscriber, but a member, okay? If you're not a member, it's okay. You're welcome to watch, and we will have an everybody chat class in 90 minutes for speaking part 3. This is one of the perks for being a member. Hi, Kesey. All right, students, as usual, aehelp.com for academic IELTS tips and strategies, 100 videos, practice exams, interactive course, and much more. For general, GIELTShelp.com. That's general IELTS help.com. On both of those websites, we help hundreds, if not thousands, of students every day improve their band scores and succeed on their exam. The websites look like this. This is the academic one here. You can click these big red buttons to join the premium full course, or for the general, it looks like this with the green background, and you can click those big red buttons. You can also try it for free, clicking that green button there. Hi Alvina, hi Ferdovs, hi Begzod. Good to see more members hopping in on this class. All right, again, just a reminder, students, we are always uploading HD videos to our channel, pre-recorded as well. We have one that's sponsored by Cambly. It's one of our partners. This is an HD speaking video with a South Korean candidate. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. If you have seen it, watch it more than once. Use the subtitles. Practice your speaking. All right, if you have questions, comments, concerns about the IELTS exam or our products, check us out, Adrian, or email me, Adrian, Adrian, at aehelp.com. Hi, Preeti. All right, here we go. So today's Saturday, of course, as usual, no class tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday. We'll be back on Wednesday as well. Here is our speaking part 2 cue card for today. Hi, Zainab. Good to have you join in on the party. Zainab, send me an email to sign up for the demo course for free so I can hook you up with some of our perks. I know you're a new member. That's great. All right, so this is our part 2. Again, students, this is speaking, so repeat. Okay, don't forget to do repetition. Repeating what you hear. It's a decent way to practice English, okay? It's good to do in either case. All right, so here we go. You turn over the card, and your 1 minute preparation time begins, and you see this information. Talk about a fun place to spend a day. Okay, talk about a fun place to spend a day. You should say what the place is, where is it located, who can you go there with, and why is it fun, and what can you do there in a day? All right, how many questions do you need to answer here in your 2 minutes? And you should actually answer these questions in the first 90 seconds and then just give more details if the examiner lets you speak more, okay? But all of this here, you should answer in 90 seconds, okay? And then if you have more time, if the examiner doesn't stop you, you have another 30 seconds, they give you the full 2 minutes, then just expand in those 30 seconds, okay? And we'll practice that today. Hi, Yuru. So how many questions do I need to answer here on my card? How many questions do I have? It's not a bad idea to do a quick question count just so it's in your head so you know that you don't miss the questions. Begzod says all. It's a little bit of a qualitative answer. Hung says 4 questions. Kesey says 5 questions. So notice how Some of you are saying 4, some of you are saying 5. That was kind of my goal, to show you that it's tricky sometimes. I think I'm going to agree with the 5 questions. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those W's indicate it. It's kind of tricky. This last one, this is your main question. If you have to divide the 90 seconds, like if you want to get really technical, although this is kind of robotic and tricky to do, but if you want to get very technical, you'd want to do it something like 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 25 seconds. I'm just giving you a rough estimate. That's 45 so far, and then 45 seconds for this one. So if I want to get really technical for this cue card members, viewers, I would say spend 10 seconds on explaining what the place is, spend another 10 seconds explaining where it's located, spend 25 seconds on who you can go there with. Of course, here you'd want to add the question of why you go there with those people. Okay, we're more interested in that. And then why is it fun and what can you do there in a day? That's kind of your main question. Okay, and it's a little bit tricky because it's your last question, and sometimes students even forget to talk about that one, which is really not good. I mean, ideally, IELTS would put this in the beginning, but they can't because it's not logical. But this is your main question, so you'd want to spend 45 seconds answering that one. That's roughly your time allocation. Does that make sense? So does it make sense why? I mean, of course, it's very difficult to spend exactly that much time, but does it make sense why you weight these questions in this way? Okay, to give a clear response. All right, good. I'm happy it makes sense for Dovs, Yuru, Begzad, Kisi, Roshni. Thanks for that. Okay, so, all right, we've turned over the card. We identified that we have 5 questions to deal with. We know that we need to get to this one after 45 seconds, definitely before the examiner stops us. If the examiner stops you before you answer this last question, it's a good chance you just lost the band mark or even more. Okay, I don't want to scare you, but unfortunately, that's the reality. If you don't get to this last question clearly, you're losing a band score. Okay, quite possibly a full band score from your speaking result. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, so what do I do? Okay, now I know some members have been with us quite a while. That's why they have those pretty bronze and red hero heads next to their names. So you have a good idea of what to do, so just throw it out at me. So what should I do? I visualize, okay. What do I do? Let's just go through this. I know some of you have heard it a dozen times before, but okay, so what do I do? So step 1, Bagzad says, identify that it's topic, it's a place. So step 1, it's a place. So places are best explained by appearance, location, attendees, means who goes there, right? So location, where is it located? What does it look like? Who goes there? The function, possibly the history. Okay. Function meaning what do people do there, and history means where it's its origins, who built it, and so on. Okay, so that's what you need to think of when you're talking about a place. That's just generally a good idea. Begzad says identify the topic. What is the topic here? So yeah, Roshni, Preeti, those are some good pieces of advice, Begzod. Yeah, who goes there? You're on the right track. So if you're answering these questions or these points, you're basically answering the question as long as you keep the cue card in mind. So step 2 is identify the topic, sure. Okay, and when you identify the topic, you can also think about it like clarify the topic with tangible, measurable definitions. Okay, I'll get into that in a minute, what I mean by that. Hi, Rahul S. We have both Rahuls in the class now, so I'm going to refer to you as Rahul S. and Rahul K. Okay. Preeti says fun place. It's a little bit more than that, Preeti. That's the trick here, is it's a bit more than just the fun place. Okay? In this case, the controlling ideas or the controlling questions are the questions. So you have to think about the topic as a little bit more than just a fun place. So you're right. I mean, fun place, it's a good start for the topic. But let's make the topic a little bit more comprehensive here. I'll bring back the card. Here. There we go. Double exclamation mark. Rahul says, we're talking about a fun place for a day. What does that mean, Bagzod? Rahul? So this is where I'm saying that in that 1 minute, you want to be that really quick thinker, and you want to think tangible, measurable. Tangible means something real, something visible. So what does it mean, a fun place for a day? Alvina, those are more the controlling ideas or the controlling questions. Here I mean to kind of try to get you to think of, what does it mean a day? Bagzod says like a stadium, something where there's lots of things to do. Okay, let's try to stay away from these weaker words like things, and let's try to stay away from these qualitative words. Let's try to get into some quantities. What does a day for you mean? If I say you're going to spend a day here having fun, what does that actually mean for you? Okay, thank you, Roshni. That's what I was hoping would kind of surface. 8 to 9 hours. Yeah. So Begzod says 24 hours. All right, that's maybe possible, Begzod, but I think that would be tricky and awkward. Yeah, Kisi says before the evening, so we're probably not talking about 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. here, Begzod. We're talking about something like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., something like that, okay? Morning till evening. Alvina, very good, right? So when I identify the topic, okay, because oftentimes the topic in your cue card, just like in your task 2 writing, is not very precise, okay? It can be quite qualitative. So your task is to make that more quantifiable, more tangible, and you should think about that as early as possible. So, excuse me, a fun or an exciting day from morning until evening. Let's say 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Something like that. Okay, that's up to you. Now, that makes it a lot clearer for you when you now try to figure out what it is. Okay, so what's my step 3? So again, remember this very important tip that I just gave you when you're practicing. When you're identifying the topic, clarify the topic as quickly as you can with tangible, measurable definitions. So step 3, what do I do next? So I turn over the card, I know it's a location, I need the appearance, the attendees, function history. I realize that, okay, this is an exciting day where I can spend time from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then, yeah, Roshni says, think about a few different topics and pick one that's easy to speak about, right? That's familiar, that's close to you. Yeah, I got that, Roshni. So what are some good topics to, or good answers for this question to choose from? Give me some good ideas for a fun place to spend a day. Okay. Ferdov says Central Park. Okay, it's a good one. Roshni says water park. Okay, Kisi says amusement park, right? Yes. Alvina says water park as well. Begzod says a zoo. Okay. Rahul says a national park. Roshni says a museum. Sure. There we go. Begzod, that was good. Yeah, I was wondering if somebody would throw that one out there. The beach. Okay, good. So those are some good ideas. Ferdov says maybe a shopping mall as well. Okay, that's good. Ferdov's shopping mall, I think, is an excellent idea as well. All right. Now, my next question here is which one of these, okay, what you should do at home is you should rank order from easiest to most difficult. It's good practice. So this is just some practice at home, okay? So practice before IELTS. Rank order. Easiest to most difficult. That could be a little bit tricky, but you get the general idea. So here, which one do you think would be the easiest to talk about as a non-native English speaker for 2 minutes out of all of these? Which one do you think would be the easiest to talk about? Roshni says maybe the beach. Okay. Zainab says maybe the beach, water park and beach. Alvina. Bagzod says beach or the zoo. Now, we might not have agreement on this, so each of us might have some different ideas. Yuru says Central Park. Kisi goes shopping mall, then the zoo, then the amusement park. So Kisi's already got kind of an order in her mind. All right, so this was my order. Again, it can be different from yours, but I would say my order would be number 1, shopping mall. Now, again, remember, students, that I do speak Hungarian and Japanese quite fluently, both of those languages. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually thinking in my mind, how would I do this in Japanese, or how would I do this in Hungarian? Which one would be easiest for me to talk about in Japanese or Hungarian? So I'm putting myself in your shoes as well. And I'm thinking shopping mall would be my easiest, then then Central Park, then the beach, then the zoo, then the park, or sorry, then the amusement park. Then my 6th one would be water park. And then my last one would be the museum from this list. Okay, and I'll explain why. Yeah, Alvina says maybe it depends on everybody's vocabulary. Absolutely, Alvina. That is basically your foundation here, your starting point. So shopping mall, I can talk about shopping. I can talk about going to the theater. I can talk about going to the food court, eating food. Okay. So there I have what I would call my most familiar vocabulary base to talk about. Okay. Central Park, right away I'm thinking, okay, I can talk about flowers, gardens, taking pictures, having a picnic, eating food. Again, vocabulary that's quite familiar for me. Okay. Now, beach, I'm starting to get into some more specific vocabulary. Some of it's familiar, like swimming, but then some of it, like sun tanning, for example, I start to get into some more unique vocabulary that I use less often in other languages. Okay. Zoo, now I'm into zoo animals, zoo exhibits, so even less familiar for me. And then amusement parks, now I'm into roller coasters, carnival games, carnival food. I'm getting into even more difficult vocabulary in my second and third languages. And then a museum, even more so, okay, because I'm talking about art, art displays, statues, so quite tricky, especially for a whole day to have fun. Okay, so that's my logic, but maybe, you know, for you it's different. Maybe you live in a country where you spend a lot of time on the beach because it's sunny all year, so you use that English language often talking about activities on the beach, like surfing, scuba diving, etc. So if that one's familiar for you, then beach could come up to the beginning of the list. It's possible. Okay, well, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I live in countries where I can't be on the beach all day, every day. So I use that vocabulary less in other languages. Does that make sense, students? So is that clear how I'm rank ordering these topics? Okay. Is that making sense? Now, one way that you can do this even better is you can test it. Okay, test it. So don't rush through these speaking cue card exercises. Test how well you can talk about them. So try to do a recording for each one. Okay, again, it's really good practice at home. So to test your inference about your ability to discuss these topics in this rank order, do a 2-minute response for each, and check which ones you found easier. Okay, why not? Right? So you can do it at home, and maybe you'll be surprised. Maybe you'll realize that, hey, I was able to talk about the water park, no problem. That was quite easy for me. I didn't realize I had that much vocabulary when talking about water parks. So try it out. Okay, go through each one of them. All right. Okay, students, so now we have our choices here. What's my next step? So I choose one, of course. So this is step 4, yeah? All right. So let's choose one. Okay, let's choose Central Park. Let's go with our second choice, Central Park. Okay. And then what do I do? So I choose Central Park, and Roshni says, yeah, think about your first sentence. Okay, visualize and think about your first sentence. So give me your first sentence for this, students. And let's all go with Central Park, okay? So let's all be on the same page. Let's talk about Central Park for 2 minutes. And then, like I said, you can try the other ones at home. Alvina, it doesn't have to be Central Park in New York City. It can be any park that's kind of the big park in your city, okay? Most cities have a large park, maybe with some amenities or some services as well. I know Budapest, where I am right now, has two beautiful central parks in the city, and they definitely have a lot of different activities. So any central park, Alvina, that's central to your city. So just let's generalize Central Park here in this case. Okay. So come up with your first sentence. Okay, I'm going to do the same while you do that. Keep your first sentence simple. Students, don't try to really impress the examiner with your first sentence. You'll have 2 minutes to do that, aside from, of course, the other parts of speaking. So just make sure that your first sentence is very clear. It answers the topic question very, very clearly. Okay, and then go from there and expand. All right, let's see what you have. So Rahul K says, more often than not, I like to go to Central Park with my friends and cousins to spend a full day. Okay, Rahul, that's good. So you're answering a lot of questions at once. Maybe don't do that. So keep it a little bit more focused. Don't talk about who you like to go there with just yet. Okay. Preeti says, a fun place which I can spend almost 8 to 9 hours is Central Park. Very good, Preeti. I like how you immediately realized to put the quantitative information in there. That's great. Okay. Because right away you're giving context, Preeti, to your listener, to your examiner, that they know what you understand as a full day. Okay. Bagzad says the most hilarious place. Bagzad, hilarious, good try, but not in this context. Hilarious means really funny. Okay. It's kind of weird in this context. So the most exciting place where I can spend my whole day from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. is Central Park, located in the center of Tashkent. You don't need capital Uzbekistan, just center of Tashkent. Unless, Begzad, you're doing the exams somewhere completely different, like let's say you're in London, then you can say in Tashkent, which is the capital of Uzbekistan. Okay, no worries, Amarjeet. We're just getting going here. So, Yuru says the Central Park in my city is a great destination for a whole day of visit and fun. Kisi says there's a big Central Park in the heart of my city where it is a fun place to spend time with my family on the weekend. Kisi, you have some grammar mistakes in there because you're trying to say too much too quickly. Again, keep it simpler for your first sentence and just make sure you don't have mistakes. Okay. All right, Alvina says the most amazing and comfortable location to spend my day is Central Park in St. Petersburg, as it opens from 10 a.m. until 9 p.m. and has a free entrance. Yeah, I bet, Alvina, that St. Petersburg has a beautiful Central Park. And remember, Alvina, first person voice. My day. We're talking about you, not me. Okay? Gurkrat says, I'm going to talk about Shalimar Garden in the city where I spend almost 3 hours in the midday after English classes, which is a beautiful green garden that is expanded over 10 acres. Okay, Gurkrat, remember the question says the whole day. So 3 hours is not enough. It should be at least 8 hours. Okay, at least 8 hours. Zainab, the most perfect place I usually spend a day of my weekend is a Central Park in Riyadh. Very good. Yeah, I bet Riyadh also has a beautiful Central Park. Yeah, that works. Zainab, again, not the weekend. Okay, careful. Just one day. Okay. students, don't lose the specifics of the topic, okay? Talk about a fun place to spend a day. If the question is talk about a fun place to spend your weekend, now we're talking about 2 to 3 days. It's a very different question. That could be the cabin on the lake, okay? Or it could be even another city where you can go to visit for 2 to 3 days and stay at a hotel. So it's a day. Careful, okay? A day is not the weekend, all right? It's one day. Okay, it matters. This is where you can save band scores by paying attention. All right. Okay, so so far so good. Okay, now we're going to just skip the rest of the planning here. So you should have some notes about what you can do in Central Park, but instead, let's just go through and answer the questions with detail. So I'm going to give you a chance. Repeat, students. Repeat after me. Repeat your classmates' statements as well. Some of them have some extremely good ideas, okay? So, an excellent place to spend 8 hours on a weekend from morning until evening, having loads of fun is Central Park in Budapest, sure. Or Riyadh, or St. Petersburg, or Tashkent, wherever you may be. All right. So, let's look at the card. What is this place? So describe it, students. Describe Central Park to me. So describe what Central Park is. Okay? And I think Gurkarat already started nicely with the 10 acres of. This Central Park, called Népliget in Budapest, is about 20 acres of green space with beautiful gardens, green lawns, and of course, lots of large trees. Most of the trees are deciduous, but there are also some conifers. I'll explain that to you, what those mean. I'm, of course, always teaching you some new vocabulary. Okay, let's see what you have so far. Gurkarat says, Science City, which is situated in the outskirts of my city. Okay, that's a little bit off topic, Gurkarat. Try to stay on topic. Amarjeet says, the Rose Garden is beautiful park 500 meters away from my house, where I go daily in the morning and spend 1 hour for walking. Amarjeet, just real quickly while the others are writing, this is the part 2 question. Talk about a fun place to spend a day. What the place is, where it's located, who can you go there with, why is it fun, and what can you do there. It's to spend a whole day, not 1 hour. Okay? Kisi says, Central Park is called People's Park with a fountain in the center and lots of greenery around. Yeah, very good. I was just thinking about the water features. Okay. As well, there are a couple of large ponds with water fountains. Okay, sure. All right, so I'll read mine and I'll explain my vocabulary while you're writing away. So here, the Central Park is called Népliget. It's about 20 acres of green space. with beautiful gardens, green lawns, and of course lots of large trees. Most of the trees are deciduous. Deciduous means that they lose their leaves in the fall. So like apple trees, for example, are deciduous trees, or maple trees. But there are also some conifers. Conifers are the evergreens. Evergreens are like pine trees, okay, or cedars that have the little needles and they don't lose their greenery during the winter time. So those are the two main categories of trees in the world. Deciduous trees that have leaves and lose the leaves in the fall time and regrow them in the spring, and coniferous trees. Coniferous trees are the ones with needles, okay, the big ones that are shaped like a triangle. All right, so there's some vocabulary for today. As well, there are a couple of large ponds with water fountains, fish, and birds. Okay. Preeti says, it is a beautiful place filled with various types of plants, trees, and colorful flowers. It covers almost 1.5 acres of space. 1.5 acres, Preeti, is not that big. If your city has a central park, it's probably quite a bit bigger than that. So I'm sure it's going to be closer to 10 acres. Okay. 1.5 acres would be a smaller park, Preeti. Begzod says the name of this park is Eco Park and has around 15 acres with large grass field and various sections as well as natural trees. Okay, that works, Begzod. Good. Gurkarat, we're talking about a central park, not about a theme park. We purposefully decided not to do a theme park, but if you'd like, you can do that for homework, okay? So stay with Central Park, so we're all looking at the same information. Roshni says this Central Park is more popular because of the different species of flowers which are found rarely, and small ponds at every corner containing goldfish and common carp. Okay, Roshni, that's very good. Yeah, I like how you have nice specific details with ponds in every corner containing goldfish. You're creating a really nice visual picture, Roshni, and that's great. Okay. Rahul S. says it has various landscapes, a rolling plain, majestic and beautiful garden. Don't double your words, Rahul S. So just majestic garden and 2 beautiful blue lakes spreading over 100 acres of land with tons of greenery, including thousands of tulips. Okay, pretty good, Rahul. I'd tweak it a little bit, take out the repetition of beautiful. You don't need the first beautiful, but otherwise it's quite good. Alvina says it's a big and picturesque area with green trees, romantic alleys, and ponds where there are lots of ducks, not dugs, ducks, which people like to feed. There are many open-air cafes inside the park as well. Okay, Alvina, very good. All right. So we've described the park a little bit, what it looks like. Alvina's also included information about some of the services. I haven't yet. Okay. Begzod says, additionally, there are also beach games, volleyball, and football available in the summer. Good, Begzod. So now you're thinking about the cue card, right? Because it's a fun place to be for the day. Hi, Happy Flower. So you caught the class. Great. Happy Flower, I sent you an email about the schedule. So check your email. You should have received that. Okay? All right. Gurkarat says, Kanjali Wetland and Big Garden and Park have vastly prominent features, including a variety of flowers and trees that are rare to see in other parts of the world. Apart from this, it has beautiful birds, and many people also come from overseas to visit. Gurkarat, don't go off topic. Tourism is, even if it's there, it's a little bit off topic. Okay? All right. So let's go to the next question then. Remember, 10 seconds. Remember what I said at the beginning of the class. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 25 seconds. Where is it located? Have I answered that question? Yes, so I can go to the next one. Okay, I already said Central Park in Budapest, so we know where it is. So who can you go there with? Let's answer that question. So who can you go there with? So Napleget is an excellent destination. So give me your own answer, students, and then we'll compare. Okay, so who can you go there with? All right, so there's my answer. Napleget is an excellent destination for friends and family. I like to go there with my wife and daughter around 9 a.m. before the crowds arrive and stay until 5 in the afternoon on a Saturday or Sunday. And then I will write some more, but I'd like to see what you have and if you're remembering what I mentioned about that question. Okay. So Zainab says Central Park takes about 1 hour to get there. It's in the middle of the city. I can see colorful fountains on the side, a green field, and we can steer there to have cups of coffee. Okay, Zainab, again, it's not we. Okay, I'm not going there with you, unfortunately, right now, although I'd love to visit Riyadh at some point in the future. So keep it to I, okay? Keep it to first person. Students, remember, on the IELTS speaking, you're not thinking about the examiner. You're not including the examiner in your answers. You're talking about me, myself, and people, individuals, citizens, okay? You're not including your examiner, all right? Rahul says it's a family destination where all can enjoy and spend their day. However, I can also go with friends and cousins for the same. Yeah, again, Rahul, stay away from that we and us. Okay, this is Rahul K. Begzod says, not only do I go there with my friends, but also with my family. Last month, I and my brother went to play volleyball for an hour, and it was tons of excitement. Okay, Begzod, good. Don't go off topic and talk about going there for an hour to have fun, because the examiner might think that you didn't understand or you forgot that this is a place to go visit for the day. So you need to really keep that point in mind that you're going there for the whole day. Okay. Kisi says, I usually go there with my family or friends on a weekend before 9 a.m. to find a good spot for a picnic. Kisi, that's a great way to continue. Okay. And definitely, I think when people visualize, they realize that, yeah, if I go for a picnic to the park, I usually want to go early so that I can find a good spot before they're all taken, and then kind of have that as the central location, and from there I can visit other areas of the park. Good, Kisi, that's great. Alvina says, it's the best place to go with friends and family. For example, I always go there with my friends on Monday and Sunday when we don't have classes, and we stay there the whole day without counting the time. Very good, Alvina. That's an excellent way to continue as well. Ferdov says, Central Park is one of the most popular places to have fun with my family. As a week ago, I had a great time with my two sons for about 7 to 8 hours. Ferdovs, that's very good, okay? All right, excellent. All right, now we're still missing an element here. Most of you, I think all of you, are missing this element, just like I am. Remember what I said? I said that for this question, and this is often true with these cue cards, so this third question, You want to spend about 25 seconds on it. Okay? And you don't just want to say who you can go there with, but you also want to answer the why question, even if it's obvious. Okay? So why do you like going there for Dobbs with your sons for 7 to 8 hours? Why your sons? Why not somebody else? Why, Alvina, do you go there with your classmates on those Mondays when you don't have classes? Okay. Kesey, why do you go there with your friends or family? So even if you're stating the obvious here, answer that in 1 or 2 sentences. So why go there? Why go there? Okay? Or why do you like taking them there? Think about that. So why do you like taking them there? Okay, keep that in mind. Now that's something that you might use to expand, so you might add that in after your 90 seconds, depending on your speed of speech, but you should consider that, okay? You should think about that, all right? So I'll add that in to my speaking here as well. I like going there with my family because we all enjoy the fresh air. It is a safe place for my 3-year-old daughter with no traffic to worry about. And it is an excellent way to burn our energy having fun and sharing memories for a lifetime, or sharing memories together. Humans, like other humans, we're very social. So that's why we like to expand on our social interactions. So why we like going with someone, what is it that we enjoy about that, okay? So you can include that information. So who do you like going there with and why do you like going with that person? Okay, take that extra step when you're talking about a person, all right? All right, so let's see. Rahul S., I see that you said who you like to go there with. Gurkrat says because it's a safe place for kids to play. So Gurkrat, yeah, that's the right idea. Okay. Preeti says I can go there with my friends. Just last Saturday I went there in the morning at 8 a.m. and enjoyed the beauty of the park and had fresh air and came home at around 6 p.m. Good, Preeti, and others who are including those examples. That's great. Okay, you should include examples like that. Roshni says in Naples, I go with some pals to explore and learn different species of flowers, which takes at least an hour or to 2. However, there's also, not however, Roshni, because it's not an opposite, so it's in addition, there are fun games to play. Okay. Gurkrat says, I choose to go with my family because it is a neat and clean place for everybody to enjoy, especially for my grandmother. The last time I clicked a selfie with my grandmother and gave it to her. Okay, Gurkrat, careful not to go into so much detail that you're wasting time and going off topic. I think at grandmother you should stop and then stop with this, like not include the part about the selfie. Okay. Alvina says it's not only a good place for us to relax, but also have some fun playing board games, take some nice photos, and have a picnic. So Alvina, you're going into the next stage of this cue card. Why? Try to think about why do you go there with your classmates? My guess, but again, I'm just the examiner. I can't give you help like this in the exam. But my guess is because it's close to where you live. So you and your classmates, if you live at the dormitories on the university, you have access to the Central Park quickly. Okay. It's a quiet place to get away from the stresses and the pressure of schoolwork, right, Alvina? So that's why you like to go there with your friends. Maybe your family lives further away. Maybe you're in another city. Okay, so explain to me why you go there with your friends to relax. All right. Okay. Kesey said, since me and my parents and friends are busy with work during the weekdays, we prefer gathering together and taking in some sunshine and chatting on Sundays. That's why it's a really good way to socialize and have fun with my friends and family there. Kesey, good. Okay, I'm coloring your sentences a little bit, but you have the right idea. Okay, you have the right idea. All right, and then of course, we need to answer that main question, which is why is it a fun place and what can you do there, right? So, why is it fun and what can you do there in a day? Now, we've already had lots and lots of suggestions from different members. So, taking pictures, playing games. Okay. There are tons of fun activities I can do in Central Park with my family, like riding bicycles, fishing in the pond, taking pictures of flowers and each other, as well as sitting under the shade of a large maple tree, enjoying a delicious picnic. Okay. And this is where I would choose to throw in my example. So again, students, ideally, you're using the same structure as in your writing task 2. So answer, explain, example. Okay. Just last Saturday, we rode our bikes to the park and had some smoked salmon that my wife packed for lunch. After that, we took our daughter to the petting zoo where she had fun riding a pony. It's actually true. Okay. So there we go. So there's my example. So really creating that visual picture. Okay. Gurkrat says fishing is banned there. Yeah, it's possible, but you can make it up. Gurkrat, even if fishing is banned, the examiner is not going to call the park and see if you're telling the truth, okay? You can tell them that you can fish goldfish as long as you throw them back in the pond, okay? All right. So now I have a solid answer to all of the questions, and all I need to do is expand if I have to. Okay, so if I have more time, I can expand. Let's go over this, students, and let's just make sure that it's sensible and we've done a good job. All right? Here we go. So, an excellent place to spend 8 hours on a weekend from morning until evening, having loads of fun, is Central Park in Budapest. This Central Park, called Nép Liget, is about 20 acres of green space with beautiful gardens, green lawns, and of course, lots of large trees. Most of the trees are deciduous, but there are also some conifers as well. There are a couple of large ponds with water fountains, fish, and birds. Nép Liget is an excellent destination for friends and family. I like to go there with my wife and daughter around 9 a.m. before the crowds arrive and stay until about 5 in the afternoon on a Saturday or Sunday. I like going there with my family because we all enjoy the fresh air. It is a safe place for my 3-year-old daughter with no traffic to worry about, and it is an excellent way to burn our energy, having fun, and making memories for a lifetime. There are tons of activities I can do in Central Park with them, like riding bicycles, fishing in the ponds, taking pictures of flowers and each other, as well as sitting under the shade of a large maple tree enjoying a delicious picnic. Just last Saturday, we rode our bikes to the park and had some smoked salmon that my wife packed for lunch. After that, we took our daughter to the petting zoo where she had fun riding a pony. Central Park is a great destination I can truly enjoy for a whole day, and then I can go into explaining more and more details if the examiner keeps looking at me. Members, that's it for today. Remember this important tip that I gave you early on here. So when you're choosing your possible answers, rank order them at home. Think about which one's the easiest, which one you know the most vocabulary for, and then test your theory. Try to give a response for each and really see which one is the easiest. That will help you become good at this when you get to the real exam, so you really can choose the easiest answer and get a high band score. Roshni, I'm glad that you learned a lot today. That's always my goal. Members, doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. Viewers, all chat class. Everyone can chat coming up in 30 minutes. Make sure to check us out at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general. Hopefully I'll see most of you or even all of you in 30 minutes for speaking part 3, which is connected to the speaking part 2, for some more practice and strategy. Bye for now.